African time, we are honoring life with dignity, the journey of Thabiso the Funeral Planner. We are turning pain into purpose in this hour. From the streets of Atteridgeville to becoming a respected leader in South Africa's funeral industry, Thabiso Mtaung's journey is one of a calling, compassion and courage. Starting out as young as 19, his drive. He didn't just see it as a job, he saw it as a responsibility. I have this joke. It's a terrible one though. Where if someone like disappoints me, I always say, you know what? I want you to feature on my funeral so you can let me down one last time.
That's a good one, eh?
Look, it's an insult though. I only bring it out if I'm really disappointed. Thabiso, good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Look, you know what? We are blessed to have this day to be alive and all things bright and beautiful. The Lord God made them all. I'm alive, I'm here, and I'm happy to be here.
Why do we get so angsty about death? Like, why do we talk about death like it's a bad thing?
I think for me, fear was already instilled, you know, as we born, you know, and you know. So I think it's something alluring at birth. There's a hola, you know. We've been, you know, instilled to anything black, anything hash, stay away, you know, anything coffin. So I think it's culture, you know. In my own opinion, culture we've been instilled that fear, salvabanyani. So hola with that, you know, mindset or anything wrong turn. Remata thing. So I think for me, I would blame it entirely on our culture, you know, and now for me, what's key is what's guaranteed. You're going to born, you're going to die, and you're going to pay tax, you know. I think for me, that's that.
You know, honestly, the tax part is what I really have a problem with because the other one is inevitable, right? Yeah. And I think for me, there's nothing more peaceful than death.
For sure.
There's nothing more peaceful than it. It's knowing that you did what you needed to do on earth, and you fulfilled your human experience. So now it's time to be a spirit. But what are some of the consequences of not preparing for it? Because I think the lack of conversations also prompt the lack of preparation for it.
You know what, ne? I deal with this. Remember, it's my ministry, it's my calling.
Sure.
You know, it pains me when I have to service a family, ne? Knowing that, look, they want the best for their loved one.
Yeah.
And abakhoni.
Oof.
You know, you can see, you can feel, but you can never touch. It's like, you know, in a coma. I was once in a coma, maybe as we are, you know. And you know, our beloved night, you know, you want that beautiful coffin, and not that coffin, you know, you have to be buried in an expensive coffin, but you want those beautiful flowers, the food, you know, everything will be nice, but you can't because you didn't prepare. It hurts. You know, other people even take extended bonds, you know, or credit card, you know, just to save face. You know, plastic chairs. So I think for me, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Absolutely.
And I can promise you, and that's what now for me, I want to change the narrative. Yeah. The paradigm shift to say, no guys, let's talk about it. Planner for medical aid, life insurance, for short-term insurance. I mean, let's plan it. You know, not for me, I'm saying let's just plan it. You don't have to spend $500,000. People spend over $500,000 because they didn't plan it. So, I mean, it's not necessary to. So, for me, it's to say, I think let's create that conversation. And that's for me to say, can we have this conversation? And I think, to say, Mara, when you talk about that, you wish that death is going to happen. And I've already chosen my coffin anyway.
Really?
For that fact. You know?
What color is it?
Oh, it's maroon. It's so,
that's pretty.
It's a ruby calf, the most carved dome in the world. Beautiful.
That's pretty. So you can't gain weight.
It's beautiful.
But you can't gain weight. Do you realize? You're already chosen. So, like, the size you are needs to be the size that you depart with.
We need to plan. It's nothing. And once we plan, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what? I'm covered.
And you also live a very fulfilled life because of that, eh?
Exactly. You know, milestone. Death is a milestone. It's one of the milestones.
It's peaceful. I'm sorry. As long as where I'm going, there's no debit orders, I'm okay. Like, genuinely, I think if where I'm going, there's no debit orders, tax, or sadness.
Quiet.
Quiet.
Who quiet? You know who like the beds, you know, I'm at peace with myself. I think that for me, and now I've touched a bit of it because I'll take you through at some point. COVID-19, it's gonna induced coma. I had to learn to walk, to talk. I was resuscitated. You know, that, So, because I was negotiate with my creator, can I at least come back? Because you know, I need to take this ministry forward. You know, that's why the funeral planner. Yeah. So for me, I think that's that. You know, but we need to talk about it. And I think for me, platforms like this, you know, I want to Bible man, Jehovah Witness, you know, so that because I experience this every day, and I'm going through all people. You know, I meet big and small, and that one thing that they didn't plan it, and it's sad. It's sad, believe me. So I'm here, I'm ready, you know.
I want us to take a short break, and then we get into, you know, some of the stories that you hear, some of the experience that you have, because honestly I think it's important for people to know that when you don't plan, these are some of the consequences of it. It is a 7:44 Central African time.
The Oasis on Channel Africa.
Welcome back to it. It is a 7:45 Central African time. 15 minutes ago, before we head to the top of the hour, we are joined by Mr. Thabiso, and we're talking about funerals. We're talking about how to actually plan properly. It's a dark industry, let's be honest, right? Because you need death to operate. Okay. So when the ICU patients are coming in, you're kind of crossing your fingers like, hey, it's going to be a big season. And one of the biggest seasons for you was COVID. And I can only imagine navigating COVID as a funeral planner. What did you go through?
You know, personally, I think there's twofold, right? I'm going to break it down from my end of me personally and to dealing with clients. Right? I think for me, my experience personally, COVID dealt with me, you know, harshly, you know. Now for me, like, you know, I thought, okay, being, and it's a funeral, you know, the funny part, you know, somebody was infected, whatever, you know, and he came across with me. In fact, he was planning a funeral for a friend, right? Then, you know, for his memorial, he engaged with me. The family said, no, man, Thabiso is planning another funeral. Please go engage with him, because he is the lead at the home. So, I think that's where it happened, you know, up close, personal in her car, you know, and it was recovering. It got me there. But I was not aware, you know, being a busy bee, you know, I'm always busy, you know. But I think then 3, 4, 5 days, I see, man, hey, man, system here shattered. Where's alarm? What's happening here? And I think for me, that the thing was then, immediately, 2 days I was bedridden, like I couldn't move. My mom came and said, hey, Minia, your signs, hospital. When I get to hospital, you are admitted right now. Huh? Look,
I would lose it.
I passed out.
Yeah.
2 weeks down the line, I recovered. You know, I'm chin. Then, how? Eh? So I think for me, like, it was a shock, because, like, you know, where am I? You know, and that for me, it was a painful experience. About 8 weeks in hospital. I mean, fast forward there was resuscitation. Fast forward there was, I had to now after 6 weeks now, I couldn't talk, I couldn't walk, I couldn't speak, I couldn't speak, everything gone. I mean, medication and all that, you know. So I had to learn to walk, to talk, everything else, you know, from zero. So it was like a painful experience. But I think for me, what took me a drive, when I negotiated with my creator, I said, and I mean, hearing people dying, there's no more, you know, neighbors, and every doctor say you're not going anywhere, you are sick. So I think for me, I had to fight with myself to say, no, I'm not going, you know. I prayed hard, and fortunately I came back. But I think for me, it was a calling, because then I didn't even plan. Trust me, I was doing this for everybody, but I didn't have my own insurance, you know. Yes, there will be death, Thabiso will be buried, but I think that conversation to say, look, you know what, who estate, who will, you know, why, how, you know, when it happens, you know, family, are they prepared? So for me, it was a wake-up call to say, we need to, Thabiso, you need to fast forward things,
Yeah.
shut out yourself. So I think that part, for me, it was a really big experience for me to really now start moving and telling people this. But yeah, as from a COVID side, from business side, look, it was tough because look, who 50 people there, restrictions and all that, and it was sad because I think the sad part is you are restricted for people to come and bury. How painful is that?
Oh man!
I believe you me, I've seen family crying to say, yo, abuti travel from Japan to come and bury the sister. It was bad, So, but COVID helped to have a better conversation to say,
around
let's
death.
plan. And also the deco and everything, people were to try to be creative. So, to say, we're thinking funeral must be, you can see the COVID era.
Yeah.
Who deco, who nice and all this and all that, So that has, COVID has redefined. It reset the clock to say, let's plan. I think that for me, it assisted to have conversations differently. So I think for me that, was a take from COVID.
What is the wildest funeral you've ever hosted?
Yo, wanako hai.
Spill the tea. I'm sorry. Spill the tea. I want the tea piping hot.
I've done. I was blessed and fortunate because for me, because it's passion. I don't do it as a competition or job or comparing. I do it. I get in there and So I think because of my ability and the experience I've gained over time and the trends and everything else, it got favored. Put me in a position for a reason, I've done kings and queens, my dear.
Wow.
I mean, top 5.
Wow.
I mean, George Bezos, among the political advisor, Nelson Mandela. I would may have his soul rest in peace. That for me was big. Sam Motsonyane, the founder of African Bank. I mean, the queen of the Zulus, King Zwelithini's third wife. DJ somebody,
Sure, that was a tough one.
The list is endless. I mean, there's so many. I mean, Kobrizi,
No way.
Kobrizi, I've done from the actual memorial.
No way.
To the actual last in place, born the day Solimogolo. Yeah, big, small, but look, a 10-year-old, baby, we had to convince the parents that, look, we're gonna do this, take them by the hand. So I think for me, the best of both, and not for me, there's no big or small, but for me, death is death, and you need to, handle it the same. You can't say this one because of that one and all that. So I think for me, that's the top 5. But I mean, there are many. It's just many. But I'm humbled to be in those homes.
Yeah.
And I've got so many brothers and sisters. Because remember, when death strikes and you are in it, you are part of it. And
yes.
So I stop him more. Because remember now, I also go after. Lawyer, there is their lawyer. Are you okay? Unwinding of estate. So I always advise outside the box. So I think for me, it's a ministry. I think that's.
I think it's so beautiful that you're calling it the ministry because you're serving your time. You're saying, listen, if we treat birth with so much dignity, surely the death also needs to be treated with dignity.
Sure.
What can we look forward to this year? What are some of the upcoming trends that you see happening within the funeral business?
Look, to be honest with you, it's becoming very competitive. It's becoming very. Look, for me, what's coming is we are creating that conversations. We're trying to say, look, let's go to the market and say, let's talk. For me, is planning. That planning is becoming a talk of the town. And obviously technology. Competition through media and social media, it's coming there. But also for me, for us, we were also introducing a podcast, Are You Ready for Death? That we're going to talk about it. Whether you want to talk about it or not, we're going to force people to talk because remember, experiences as a teacher is the best teacher because I see these gaps, and they are generic, this family didn't do this. So, try to say, guys, let's enlighten, let's teach you about it. So I think now this more, people now moving away from their comfort zone and to say, look, let me listen because now people are listening. For example, I also take people on a tour to say, no, let's talk about different kinds of coffins. Which one, plan. You see, I think for me, we're taking people on the journey to talk about it, and exploring and touching and feeling. Look, waiting, whole cold room, you're going to be here. Get used to this. You're going to be in a house. So those conversations are coming, I think, this year, and I'm excited, to say at least people are informed. It's information. I think now for me, there is too much information coming from different walks, whether media, whether it's radio, whether it's, I'm talking about it, and I know out there they're listening, and I think for me that's that. It's
amazing, man.
Conversation. Yes.
Where can we find you? Whether it be a phone number, social media, how do we get a hold of you?
I think for me, look, my cell phone is my, it's my cell phone, my brother. You can, so must I say it? Or, obviously.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's Thabiso, anytime, 082 851 4140. And then obviously you can go into a Cartel Group essay on our TikTok. That's where you can see all these things, and then obviously I think then that it will guide you elsewhere. But I think for me, the TikTok, and it's the new thing, the new normal. And obviously I have also a working Thabiso the Funeral Planner on social, working on Instagram and obviously on Facebook. But I think for me as a group, because I've got many other companies, so Cartel Group, it will just give you a guide. And obviously please support us on Are You Ready for Death? It's coming, I think we're launching it on the 1st of April or the second week. That's where you're gonna get to see also other experts and expertise, advising and all that. Thanks.
Absolutely amazing. Thabiso, thank you so much for being a guiding light, and also just committing to giving people that dignified send off. Thank you for your time today.
I'm blessed, Manako Helena. Thank you. Thanks for the good show.
Sure. It is the 7:55 Central African time right here on the Oasis.